is a Bramble Jam podcast.
Hi, I'm Brad, and I love Hallmark spring movies.
Hello. I'm Panda, and I like Hallmark spring movies.
Hi there. I'm Dan, and I despise Hallmark movies that start out very seasonal and then kind of slowly become spring movies. And this is the Deck the Hallmark podcast.
Wowie zowie.
Spring time.
Spring into it. Not spring fever.
No.
We are in end of COVID times.
Yep.
Spring fever, bad idea. Spring into love, though. We're
Love.
all
Love
in
that
for
idea.
spring into love.
Yep.
What was the last thing you sprung into?
My swimming pool.
Oh.
They opened it up last week. The kids wanted to get into it. The water was 60 degrees, Brand.
Worth it.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It's freezing.
Panda?
Bag of goldfish.
Oh.
You sprung into those.
Yeah.
Just head first or what?
Hand first.
Just shavings coming off the side.
Oh, my goodness.
What's the easiest delivery method there? Do you like the bag, the zip ties? Do you like the carton that looks like a milk carton a little bit? What do you like there?
So,
Can I say this? It just seems like you just pour it straight in. That'd be the best way to go.
yeah. For quick consumption, yes. But you got to be cautious. You get a little dry. I've changed my perspective. I legitimately have an
too
answer on
old
this.
to eat them quickly? For quick, is anybody just eating goldfish slow?
I like to slow it down,
To
like
really
to really savor
savor.
the
Yeah.
flavor.
Yeah.
Listen, some thoughts. I have typically I used to say big carton.
Yeah.
However, I've changed my perspective. I think that the Ziploc bags keep the goldfish
The
fresher,
Ziploc
and they have
bags?
the really good.
I don't
the one
think
right there.
Is someone
I don't
handing-
think
oh.
anyone is questioning that the Ziploc would keep it fresher.
Yeah, but for whatever reason, I thought that the cartons typically had the freshest tasting goldfish, even more than the little bags.
Even at the bottom of that carton. If you're going through a
if
carton
you go
a
through
night,
it quickly. But I would say from beginning to end, the consistency.
there
Ziploc.
it is. Ziploc. You heard it here.
So from first
First nibble to last gulp.
No.
So you start with a nibble and you end with a gulp.
by gulping
That's
goldfish.
fascinating. But
Hands.
from first nibble, you're saying there's a difference in the initial nibble.
Yeah, for sure.
Interesting. You know what I've noticed is
What's
there's
that?
a difference in both M&Ms and Skittles in bag size,
In what?
in like the way that they taste.
In bag size?
Yeah. Larger bags of M&Ms, they taste different than the smaller bags of M&Ms. And they taste even more different than the mini M&Ms.
Do we have any M&Ms to try this on?
I've done all the testing.
Okay. So you've tested all of them.
I've done some very serious testing.
It's like the seasonal Reese's taste better than the regular Reese's.
Well, that's a proven fact.
That's a proven
That's
fact,
proven by
actually.
science.
You know what it is? It's the lack of ridges.
You think
the
so?
ridges are
The
what mess it
ridges
up.
make it a little less milk chocolatey.
Yep.
They're too rigid.
Because each dip is taking out a circumference
That's right.
of.
But
the-
also they're just too
circumference.
hard. The ridges are just too hard. So it makes the whole, it's just not as melt in your mouth.
Yeah, that's true.
What's a candy you've tried recently that you really dug?
Oh, I know. Nerd clusters.
The gummies.
The gummy clusters.
They're
Those
delightful.
things are crazy good.
Very good. Red gummy underneath, nerds all
I've
around
had
the
those.
outside. You don't
That's
like
kind.
them.
No, I didn't.
Not
is that
the
kind of
nerd
like?
chews,
Is
not
that
the
kind of
nerd
like
chews.
nerd rope, but just in
Yes.
cluster
Yes,
form?
Just little balls of nerd.
They're
rope.
delightful.
Remember
They're
when they came out
wonderful.
with nerd rope?
Man, that was a day.
I do.
Yeah. I was
I
a
remember
child.
where I
saw it in
was.
the movie theater.
Yeah, I
was
remember
unreal.
exactly where I was when I tried it for the first time.
Wow.
Walmart,
Walmart. You
Titusville,
just
Florida.
ripped one open in Walmart
Well, I bought it.
and then went outside.
When I went out. Well, I
Okay.
probably ate it in the store. Can't wait. You
can't wait on a
Can't
nerd
wait
rope.
on a nerd rope.
Not with that kind of technology.
No, I recently somebody sent this in. You witnessed me eat a whole bag.
That's true.
It was like a s'more thing
Yeah, we talked about it
on the air.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
I
did.
did.
yeah.
It was great.
We're rusty. It's okay.
And
a week
but
off.
the thing that was impressive about it was when you opened the bag, it smelled of smoke.
Yeah, you told us this on the podcast.
I don't think so. We
It
do
happened.
We do 5 episodes a week. There's no way people caught it. So people might not know this, but we actually repeat every day one thing every
That's right.
day.
For instance, this week somehow again is Clay Aiken. I don't know how, but again it's a Clay Aiken bit. Even though I feel like we've already repeated that.
Wow.
But,
You'd be surprised. A second chance at love, a first spring into love movie.
That's second chance, first
Second
spring.
chance, first spring movie. Which I'm very excited to dive into this. Are you guys ready for it?
Let's just go ahead and dive in.
I'm diving in. I'm going deep. This one originally aired on March 26, 2022, and it went a little something like this. The movie kicks off with a couple of parents dancing together, totally in love. Their little girl comes and joins them. They go to church together. They love each other until they don't. They fall out of love with, when they start working more. When you start to pick work before love,
Don't do it.
You don't.
that's what I know. So they splitsville, and the girl is real sad about that. Her name is Alicia, and she's now grown up with her home. She's in love. She's got a husband. His name's Arnold.
Hey, Arnold.
Hey, Arnold. And I would fight to the death anybody that says that Hey Arnold is not one of the top 3 Nickelodeon cartoons of all time.
Who wouldn't say that though?
I don't know. It's Hey Arnold,
Rugrats.
Rocket Power, Rugrats.
Rocket Power. I've never even heard of.
Have you seen Rocket Power?
Yeah, and I disagree with you.
Oh boy.
What do you
Wild
mean you
Thornberries.
disagree? Huh?
Wild Thornberries.
Isn't Wild Thornberries a
Wild
Rugrats
Thornberries?
spinoff?
No,
It isn't.
No, not in the
Is it
least.
Same creator.
probably.
probably.
You realize I've never seen any of these programs.
Or Cat Dog.
No, Cat
How
Dog.
about Doug? How about Doug?
Doug's up there.
Doug, okay.
Rocket Power is
Rocket Power
No.
sounds like something you made up.
which of these Nickelodeon shows
Dude, I've not
is?
seen any of these shows.
I'm going to give you 3 options. One of them is real.
Okay,
1, Naked Brothers Band.
it's that one.
2, Cow Pals. 3, Dog Boy. Which of those 3 is a real Nickelodeon show?
Only one of them's real.
Only one of them's real.
The Cow Pal one.
No.
Naked Brothers Band.
Naked Brothers
Naked
Band.
Brothers Band.
Real- real
Angry
show.
Beavers is a better show.
Angry Beavers is not better than Rocket Power.
Angry Beavers
I would
is hilarious.
go to the grave.
You would go to the grave for what reason?
Any reason.
Hey Arnold, Doug, Angry Beavers. There it is.
As long as we agree that Hey Arnold's in the top 3, I think you can make your own.
Yeah.
But Hey Arnold isn't. It should be in everybody's.
Recess was great back in the day.
That wasn't Nickelodeon though. That was
it
an
wasn't.
ABC show.
Yeah, but it was still great.
Get it right,
Saturday
Panda.
morning cartoons. Recess is, I think, the GOAT.
The goat.
No, it is not.
What's the goat?
Doug.
Think Doug is the GOAT?
It's the only one I've seen.
Do your best Peppermint Patty impression.
I can't. It's been so long out.
She's so raspy.
Peppermint Patty?
Not Peppermint Patty.
From Charlie Brown?
No, well, what's her name? Patty Mayonnaise.
Patty
yeah,
Mayonnaise.
Dag. That's not bad. Dag. Anywho, where were we? She's married to Arnold.
Hey Arnold.
Dude, top 3.
I don't know. Rocket Power. You heard of this show?
You hear about this one? Dude, I will show you an episode of Rocket Power and you will
And I
love
will
it.
probably hate it.
Won't we stick around after we record tonight?
Yeah, why not?
I love it.
Let's just keep going. She's grown now. She's married to a guy named Arnold, and they live in an absolutely massive house. She's a hairstylist for the stars, I'm sure.
He works kind of at a kiosk. We think
No, he's a tech boy.
he's a tech guy. They do apps.
Yes, they do apps. Their anniversary's coming up, and her husband wants to be intentional about loving each other because this time of year she gets all bummed because of the fact that her parents are divorced. I don't know. But anyway, she's also a busy bee. She's always working. She's always talking to her parents. Blah. We catch up with her parents, speaking of which, and they're both kind of, they're trying to move on. It's been a few years now. The mom is kind of into this new dance instructor, and who wouldn't be? And the dad just broke up with another girl. Her name's like Jade or something. Can't trust her. So Alicia gets this big idea to sign them up for a dating app that I think Arnold helped make. I don't know. They're both reluctantly they both reluctantly agree to go on the app. She makes both of their profiles. They start talking to each other. They both go on a few dates. They're both miserable. We'll see what happens. Alicia's husband, Arnold, is frustrated that Alicia seems to care more about everyone else than she does him. And at first we're like, man, I think Arnold's overreacting. Nope, he's not. He has a weird interaction with some girl at a mall. Both the parents start talking to somebody on the app, and they show up for the date, and it's each other, and they have a great night together, and they're just like, this is ridiculous. It'll never happen again, except it's not ridiculous. He shows up, and he's like, I want to relearn you. That's awesome. They end up going on a bunch of dates and keeping that secret from Alicia. One night, she comes home and Arnold made dinner for her, and she's like, I'm a pass. I'm going to go try to catch my mom in the act. He's real bummed by this, and her parents actually saw her, so they didn't show up at the restaurant at all. They go to this place to talk about, being back together, and they talk about what went wrong in the first place, and she ends up leaving because it's just all too much. He ends up going back to the girl from the beginning, and the mom walks in on them at the coffee, and she gets real mad. He's like, it's not what it looks like. I'm not back with this girl. And it's at this point, Alicia's there as well, and she realizes that the parents had been seeing each other. She's like, I can't believe you didn't tell me about this. You need to tell me everything. My guy Arnold finally puts it out on the table and is like, hey, here's the thing. You are always wanting your parents to be a part of everything, and I can't do that anymore. I need you to just try. And she's like, not a problem. Let's go on a weekend trip together. Mom's calling. I'll be back in a moment, please. You pack everything for us now. So she goes to talk to mom, and she comes back, and she says, surprise. Hey, Arnold, you know that trip? Here's the thing. I'm excited about it, but also my mom's coming. And he's like, are you kidding me right now with this nonsense? And he's like, well, I guess, what I'm not going to be that guy that says your mom can't come. It's a lose-lose for Arnold is what I'm trying to say. Real lose-lose. So she starts to talk to her dad, and she's like, don't make another move unless you're real serious about this situation. She finally has a conversation with Arnold, and they get real with each other. And right afterwards, she goes immediately to talk to her mom. And it's now time for the romance dance. I actually don't know what this dance is.
It's the big dance.
It's the big dance that you have as adults, and
the big adult dance ball.
It's a dance ball.
It's a big adult dance ball.
Big adult dance bar. And so the dad comes in, plays Just the Two of Us, which is from the beginning of the movie, and they dance, and then they walk out into the lobby, and they kind of talk, but I don't really know. It's not that serious, except it is, because he comes back in, grabs the mic, and he's like, I love you. I don't need this mic anymore. Slams it down to the ground, gets down on his knee, opens up a disco ball of a ring, and he's like, you want to try this sucker again? And she's like, I do. They get married again, and then finally, after her parents get married and get out of her life for a little bit, they have a baby, and they go, and they're all happy about the baby, and I guess they do the baptized situation. And everyone's there, and they're happy. And that, my friends, was a second chance at love.
Man, that was a good one, Brian.
Thank you, everybody.
Really
what are people?
today.
Are people in the chat saying? People in the chat saying anything about Hey Arnold, about rocket power?
The two that were mentioned in the chat that are more reflective of my era, although I never watched SpongeBob.
Okay.
SpongeBob SquarePants, I've never seen an episode, but Nickelodeon cartoons.
Oh yeah,
that has to be a top 3 all time.
Okay, yeah, I forgot. And from our era,
the one I thought about, which was my era, which I never got into, but was groundbreaking, was Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah,
Ren and Stimpy is the rest of these shows don't exist without Ren and Stimpy.
No, that's true.
That's a pretty groundbreaking deal. But SpongeBob, I feel like
I
forgot about
starting
SpongeBob.
a cartoon podcast.
I think we are, because I got to watch them.
Gosh, I love cartoons.
I would be all in on
Saturday
that.
morning cartoon with the boys.
Saturday morning cartoons.
And we eat cereal.
Why are we saying this out loud?
We eat cereal.
Do we eat? Yes, we eat cereal. We get somebody to sponsor that ish. Come on, man.
Guys, this is
we
the show.
have things to do.
We'll
we
be
have
back,
things to do.
We'll be back another day. Until then, Merry Christmas. We'll be right back here.
Merry Christmas.
Someone call a doctor.
I don't want to call a doctor.
Why not?
I want to get on my app and get a ZocDoc.
What do you mean an app?
You know, the app that tells me where I can find a doctor and maybe have a remote virtual visit from the comfort of my own home without having to find a real doctor.
In my experience, finding they are real doctors, by the way. In my experience, finding a doctor is hard. What if they don't take my insurance? What if they don't understand my needs? ZocDoc doesn't have that problem.
Because they're real doctors.
They're real
100% real doctors. ZocDoc is a free app of real doctors that show you who's the best out there. They got patient reviews. They're the ones that take your insurance. They're available when you need them. You can do an in-person. You can do a virtual. ZocDoc has you covered with 100% real doctors. In a chaotic world of fake doctors and healthcare and whatnot, ZocDoc says, we know what you need.
Real doctor.
A quality doctor, simple and sweet. Go to ZocDoc.com/Hallmark to download the ZocDoc app for free. That's ZocDoc is what you're looking for there. You can start your search with top-rated doctors, many of which are available within 24 hours. Can you imagine that?
Wow.
A real doctor within 24 hours?
Doctor in 24 hours? Unbelievable.
I went to BotDoc. It was awful. Worse, they were all robotic doctors.
Oh, BotDoc is the worst.
The worst.
I think you have a cold.
You have a cold.
I went to DotDoc, and they were it was just dots all together that's made to look like a dot.
Wow.
Well,
that
did you
was
do
very
the dot
pixelated.
system?
Yeah, it was bad. 5 equals 6.
ZocDoc.com/Hallmark, ZocDoc.com/Hallmark to download that sweet, sweet app today.
All real doctors.
Hey, everybody, welcome back. We are talking about...
This show should just be a reduction sauce of ZocDoc ads. I don't know what to tell you. Should be.
That was a good bit. Guys, how you doing?
I'm
So
great,
good.
man.
I can't stop thinking about cartoon, the cartoon
Oh my
pod.
gosh.
Yeah.
I'm in.
The podtoon.
I thought to myself, I don't need to be on another podcast. Deck the Hallmark is all I need. But then you guys pitch that.
And you're like, whoa,
You have me back in.
sign me up.
I friggin' love a good cartoon.
I can play with my kids in another year.
She will grow up eventually, and that is fine. As long as she knows Daddy loves her.
And he was
all I
watching
need.
cartoons eating
He was
cereal.
watching cartoons and cereal.
Can I ask you this one? And we don't need, I know we try not to get like religious on here, but have you ever given any thought to
Dude.
what would happen if cartoons got saved?
Dude, I have thought
Have you
about
given
this
any thought to this?
more than you would ever imagine.
Because think about like the cartoons, like they're not real.
I was thinking about this the other day, in fact.
No way.
I was.
Did you come to any sort of conclusion that's worth like talking
You know,
about?
there would be a few that I did, like, through just rifled
So
through
just
my
thinking
head.
it through the
Some of the
cartoons.
older ones, like, for instance, like Fred and Wilma Flintstone.
Yeah.
What would it be like if they got
It'd be
saved?
like Yabba Dabba Doo Ya.
What about Beavis and the other
The
dude?
other guy?
Yeah.
No.
Well, here's the...
Nah.
What do you mean, nah?
Nah.
What about Beavis?
Beavis? Meh. And that other guy? Nah. No.
No hope for them.
No hope
None.
for them. Uh-uh.
That's interesting. That seems
is.
actually go against what I've read in Scripture.
Now, what does them saying Yabba Dabba Doo Ya have to do with them being saved? I don't know exactly, but I will get to the bottom of that. That's just where my brain went.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, like Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Yeah.
Bullwinkle Booyah. Now, I don't know why that's what my brain thought of. When
All right.
Okay.
What about,
Okay.
and I don't know what you're going to do with this, the Smurfs.
La 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 la.
La la la
Hallelujah.
Wow.
Yeah, see?
That was good.
That one at least sounds like hallelujah a little bit. Bullwinkle Booyah. I got nothing. Is he like, trying to be like a sportscaster? It's deep to center field. Bullwinkle Booyah.
That's just something, food for thought, everybody. Let's
Save it
dive
for the pot.
Let's dive into this one. If we don't do at least one cartoon song bit per episode, we get fired. Let's dive into A Second Chance at Love, the first Spring into Love movie.
We're going to be done by midnight.
Panda, what'd you think about this one?
Yeah, it wasn't horrible. We've seen worse this year, for sure. I think that made this movie solid was the dynamics of the relationships that the parents are have this tension that the wife what's her name? I can't even think of her. Alicia and Arnold and their dynamic, and the fact that everyone in the entire movie is really having a relationship problem. Normally there's one person who's like set and giving counsel. Everyone's kind of having trouble in this movie. I don't know, made it interesting. I don't know if I would watch it again, but it's not the worst movie we've seen.
I think that the mom and dad in this movie are, if it's just them, it's the best movie of the year. I think
Eric LaSalle was great in this movie.
I think the two of them, their storyline, them together, like them dancing, real sensual, real good, real hot stuff. But then the whole Alicia and Arnold was just tough to like. Both had things about them that were unlikable. And like the more that they would just ram this storyline of her not being able to have a conversation without bringing up the mom or the dad, and Arnold just being there, just a sad sack. Like the more it happened, the longer it went into the movie, the less I was able to get into it. Like I was just like, we got to get past this. And they got past it and they went right back to it, but he was just fine with it.
Yeah.
If it's just the parents, this movie's dynamite because every time they're together, it's good. It's good TV. I think it's up there, top 3 probably of the year so far. But just that, that was a tough. The two actual, I don't know what you would call the leads, but the younger folk in this movie, the longer that storyline went in, the harder that got.
Top 3, Humphrey.
Came in hot with top 3.
Top 3.
Just here's a fastball. Top 3, baby.
Yeah. Are you guys kidding me? That's not in your top 3 of the year?
No way.
Do you forget the ranking episode?
Oh, I remember the ranking episode.
It's not better than Butterflies.
It's better than Butterflies.
It's better than Butterflies.
It's not better than Butterflies.
I love Butterflies.
It's not better than the third Weddingville movie.
You've lost your mind.
Dude, Victor Webster and Allison Sweeney.
You know I love the Vicster.
All day over this.
Okay.
All day. This movie should be called Second Chance to Go to Therapy. Everyone should go to therapy.
That's true.
Everyone in this movie should go to therapy. Talk it out, share your feelings, get an unbiased opinion. ZocDoc may be able to help you. If not, BetterHelp probably will. Go to therapy, please. And that starts with Alicia. Holy cow. Oh my. She's the worst. She's the worst, and I love Alvina August. I think she's wonderful. Delivered by Christmas, one of my favorite Hallmark movies. She's a very talented actor. This character is just tough to watch. I mean, Arnold is over there just taking it on the chin all movie. Gloria Rubin and Eric LaSalle are wonderful actors, and those two together are chemistry, are sparks. I do like their storyline, but even they have a lot of stuff they need to work out. This is a movie that gets a lot of props for actually being like real. You know, so many times we give these movies a hard time for like, you know, skating over difficult issues. And this movie is like the flip side, eat your veggies of that. Like this is like, hey, divorce is hard. It's difficult. It leaves trauma. And so you should give a movie props for that. But on the watchability scale and on the would I watch it again? Absolutely not. No way. And if it was just Gloria Rubin and Eric LaSalle, absolutely it would be top 3, but it's not. It's Alicia and Arnold in probably the worst relationship of the year.
I think but also part of it is like, if this was like a different network, it almost feels different. When it's Hallmark and the two leads are like a very toxic relationship for 90% of the movie.
They should not be married.
It's just super like jarring. Like it takes you out of it. Like I wasn't what I was expecting.
No.
I expected the resolution to come a little earlier so that you could like the character.
Yeah.
But the problem is,
Like-
they're the C and D characters technically in the movie, right? Wouldn't you say Gloria Rubin and Eric LaSalle are A and B?
Probably.
But I think that's what made this movie more interesting. I think it was more entertaining for
You
that
could
reason.
argue that it's that A is Alicia and then B and C are the mom and dad and D is Arnold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't really help much, but yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
When at least one of the top 3 characters in the movie is unlikable for almost the entire movie, it's just not what you expect.
She's just worried about her parents.
She's just worried about her parents, which
Yeah.
is great.
For sure. I just think her actions necessitate therapy more than anyone else's in this.
No, she is.
I think
problems.
we could all agree that the moment it took a turn from like she should probably talk to somebody to like you need to talk to somebody was when she came home and he had made the dinner.
Yes.
And she said, let's heat that sucker up tomorrow.
Because it'd be one thing if she's starting to exhibit some of the traits that her parents had that got them divorced. That's an interesting storyline. If she cares about work too much or doesn't value his opinion or blah, blah, blah. She just is weirdly invested in her parents finding love.
Yeah.
That's
I
weird,
I think they were going for A. But it departed, I think, at that dinner scene. I think is when it departed from I'm a workaholic, you know?
Yeah, there's some disturbing choices that she makes.
Yes. What she does is unforgivable in this movie. The fact that Arnold stays with her is, I mean, if that's not proof of a living God, I don't know what is. Like that guy. I mean, come on,
it's a never giving up kind of love.
But I do think that on a different network, it just reads different. Like it feels different. Like on Hallmark, where I'm expecting to at least like the character. But you know,
movies like this do like pose a philosophical question for me, which is, do I actually prefer the movie that's worse qualitatively because I at least get some laughs, or do I prefer a movie that gives an effort like this one at tackling some big issue and it doesn't do it very well?
That's fair.
Because it does try to do things that are realistic, and there are a couple of good performances in here, but some of it is just lazy and slapdash and unforgivable.
I think I always prefer a worse movie that makes me laugh.
Yeah. Because perfect pairing. Give me that movie all day over this movie.
Yeah. Agree.
I mean, all day.
Yep.
Which is crazy to say out loud because that movie's absurd.
But the two parents in this movie are doing just a knockout job.
They're doing great work.
Wonderful.
They're doing great work. Yeah.
More on that on the after show. Of what
Deck the Hallmark.
Yeah. Deck the Dark.
No,
I don't know.
No.
Not
Deck
we'll
the
keep
Dark the Hallmark.
Dark
No,
the no. I don't know. We'll talk about
keep
that
it.
also on the show.
We'll figure it out.
Let's talk about all the feels. Panda, what you got, buddy?
I think one of my favorite scenes is. Ooh, this is tricky because there's a few good. There's a few.
I thought you didn't have one, and you were like starting
oh,
the
this
sentence.
is tricky.
I don't have one.
No, there's a few really good ones. I mean, it feels like low hanging fruit to do when the mom and dad dance at the very end, but that is a really good scene. I
have them dancing in the middle as my when they're dancing in her studio.
But there's a couple good kisses. There's some really good kisses.
Yeah.
When Alicia and Arnold kind of get back together and they kind of make up, there's some really there's some passion there.
Yeah, I think that dance scene in the middle because it worked with the montage too because they're going out on dates.
I like
and then
that.
they keep spicing in some of these little dance scenes and they're like real close to each other. That was good. That was good stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, the ending bringing back just the two of us.
Yeah, no,
that's the feel.
But I think it should have been the feels. I think for me, they start this song and then they leave the room.
That is true.
It felt like it should have been the end of the movie.
Before the song started, I said, he's going to request just the two of us. They're going to dance. It's going to be the one legitimate feel of the movie. They do it. And then instead of him during that song professing his love, getting down on one knee with the shiny light ring, he doesn't do it.
We just get walk out of the room. That's it.
It's weird.
Yeah. Why didn't they?
We didn't even get the chorus.
Those two moments together.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah,
because it takes away.
And it felt like they should have had the conversation, and then they get to the chorus, just the two of us, and they kiss.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. You get it. You should have directed this one, man.
Well, hey, call me. I'm cheap. Dan, is that yours?
Yes.
I guess.
That would have been mine had it not been completely undercut.
So the middle of the scene, the middle of the movie dance is better than the
because of how they execute it. Yes.
Yeah. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back with the with the Hallmark here on
Deck the Hallmark.
Hallmark. Into love.
Real doctors.
There, gummit, we're back. Very excited to be back with my boys talking about a second charge for love. And we're going to start with the wait what's here on the second half of the show. Panda, what are you waiting and what are you wanting?
Yeah. First of all, I want to talk about the husband's job, Arnold's job.
Yeah.
He works.
Hey, Arnold.
Hey, Arnold. He works, and I'm just I'm working my way through this one. Is that a 2-man app development team that is building a full-blown dating app?
They farm out everything.
Just what has happened? Those don't exist.
They develop apps. They farm out everything to everyone else.
And it comes back and they're like, hey.
It's good. Put it out there.
Out there. It's awesome. The mother, I know you're going to talk more about this. I want to talk about just this dance studio a little bit now, and I know you'll have some more things to frame. But I just have a question. Like, she's with this dance instructor a lot. I just a lot late at night.
She's always going up to check on him.
Like,
what's happening there?
I'm kind of with the dad on this one. He comes walking on in. It's late at night. They're both dancing together. Lights are dimmed. And she says,
I'm working.
I'm at work late.
That's not fair.
Yeah.
It is not fair just because you work at a dance studio that anytime you dance with another guy late at night, for you to just be like, I'm at work.
I'm confused. Like, what part of her job working is to stay there late?
Because this guy, it's like
and to
10
dance
o'clock.
with him.
It's a nightly.
Look, she can do whatever she wants.
Yeah,
she owns the studio.
Yeah,
100%.
absolutely.
I'm just asking what part of this is working. That's all I need to know. If you want to just say you were dancing with him because you want to dance with him, great. But what part of that's work?
Not work. I suggest you not work.
Because she doesn't go up and teach dance. She's in an office and she just goes, I wonder what do you call him? August Rush.
August Rush is doing.
I wonder what old grown man August Rush is doing up there.
Right.
Let me go up there and give it a look-see and a quick dance.
Yes.
That is it. She doesn't go up there and be like, oh, you're doing a great job. Here's how I would do it.
I would
She just goes
argue
up and dances with him.
Unless you are doing that with every dance instructor, like, hey, show me what you're teaching the students. It's not work.
No.
Not work.
That dance is not work.
Not
It's a weird one.
Not work.
I'm at work, Dawn. Shut up.
And in his
Listen,
defense,
if you-
I would feel a little hurt if I come walking on up,
But to
and
be
the girl
fair,
I'm into, dancing.
To be fair, he was out to coffee with this girl.
No, this is before that.
This is before that?
I think so.
Tell me, the
And then he
dance
gets-
studio was...
Yes, it's before
Oh, yeah,
and
'cause
then the
he gets
next
call.
day. That's right.
Yeah. No, I got nothing.
Yeah.
It's offensive.
But it is after she says, like, I can't, like, they have that big conversation, and then she's like, I can't do this anymore.
And he has done some stuff before that.
So
led to that.
the dance is at a question mark time in their
That's fine.
in their relationship. I just that's a tough one to call work.
It's
It
just
is.
tough
Yeah,
to call
yeah,
work.
yeah.
That
That's
dance
my
move,
what you can't call
that
it
dance
work.
move is a tough one to call
You
work.
can't call that work.
Yeah.
You can call it many things. Can't call it work. Finally, the mom at the very beginning of this movie sits down and eats a sandwich that I know I've made a big deal about this sandwich. It
You
is
were
wild.
really just
guys,
on
it
this.
is a plate of lettuce with a couple pieces of white bread. You guys say you saw some tuna
There's
salad.
tuna salad in the sandwich.
Is the lightest amount of tuna
It's
salad.
thin. It's not a heavy portion of tuna salad, but it's
Somebody
there.
has overpaid for their lettuce sandwich.
It's not a lettuce sandwich.
It's a lettuce sandwich. That's
It's
what
an
it is.
undressed salad with tuna salad and sandwich and lettuce on bread.
There
which
is such
worse.
you have part of a tuna on there. You have like maybe Charlie's right flipper fin.
Yeah,
like
well,
right
tunas
there.
are giant, so yes, there's only a very little bit.
like
of,
his little pinky.
tunas don't have pinky.
Yeah, but
they can't.
Charlie
They
might.
can't possibly. If tunas had opposable hands and could breathe oxygen, they'd take over.
I
the world.
will say I did see Charlie's Pinky live.
Oh man,
Phenomenal.
so good,
So
Packed
good.
house.
Yeah,
Yeah,
packed
it
house.
was.
Unbelievable.
Which, to be fair though, it was actually in a house. It was great. Real small house.
Got it.
There was about 20 people in there.
Okay, it was packed though.
It was hot and sweaty. I'll say that.
Yeah.
It was.
You good, buddy?
Yeah, I'm good.
So, towards the beginning of this movie, so she is going to go work. She works at a hair salon,
Yes.
and she's running late. She gets there late, and her friend is like, "Nice of you to join us," and she's like, "I'm sorry, I had to stop and get some things for our date later." So she saw it better to leave her client hanging, make her friend start the client, than to just go after work.
Yeah.
To get the things.
Yep.
Yeah, that's not a good
You don't
excuse.
get to make that call.
That's not a good excuse.
That's not a nice thing to do.
Like, you may as well just say I slept in.
I slept in.
Yep.
To say, hey, I had to stop at the store and get stuff for the date later. It's not helpful.
No.
It's not helpful, and
No.
the client doesn't understand that, and that's not fair to the client. Guys, I gotta camp here for a little bit. I don't know what happened in the mall.
Oh, no, none of us do.
Okay, so let me paint the picture for those of you at home. So my guy
Please, someone in the
Arnold,
chat answered this.
my
Please.
guy Arnold, at some point in time, he's a little disgruntled in his relationship, and for some reason, this app developer's walking around in a mall, and he stops at a kiosk, and seems to be a girl that wants to buy a stuffed bear, but she can't reach the stuffed bear. So Arnold, app developer, who's in the mall in the middle of the day
By himself. At a bear kiosk.
reaches up at the top, grabs the bear, hands it to the girl. That girl then walks away from the kiosk without paying for the bear, and he walks away.
He's at the mall for trying to get stuff for their big anniversary.
Okay.
He's shopping.
Great.
I don't understand the rest of it, though.
Why is this woman
The point,
buying a bear?
I know why we had the scene. The scene was to show that he
I'm
was getting
fine with the
attention.
scene.
But I don't know what
I don't know why
in
this.
the Hades was going on.
Why did this grown one? I just can't figure out how we got there.
Yeah.
There was a grown woman that at some point looked at a kiosk and says, "I want that bear. Wish I could grab it." Luckily, our guy Arnold was walking by and said, "No problem, ma'am." Goes up, grabs the woman
And
the
then
bear,
she
and then she
steals it.
walks off.
Yes.
Unless in this scenario, she had already paid for the bear, but the person working the booth said, "Sorry, I can't get it myself.
Figure it out.
Figure it out. Hey, honky hunk, can you reach this?" I don't know why, of all the scenarios to have another woman show him interest just so that he has that feeling, that was the way they decided to work
It's a
that in.
weird bit.
What if he helps her get a stuffed bear from the top of the kiosk? Is that working for anybody? No? Do it anyway. Nothing we can do at this point. At the very end, they're at this, the adult dance ball.
Big adult ball dance.
And my boy, my man, Dad says, I know we're all here for this beautiful evening for lovers.
That's just not okay.
That's not a sentence you should
can't
say.
say
A
that
beautiful
ever.
evening for lovers? Come on.
No.
This is Hallmark, not Lifetime. And is that a glow-in-the-dark ring? Is it a ring
top of the
that
box has a light
on it?
Yeah, which is
it
dope.
a disco ball? That ring blew my mind. Couldn't fathom all that was happening in that moment.
Do you think a jewelry store paid money for that bit?
If they did, they got robbed, because I have more questions than answers. And how do I Google that?
Like a laser tag ring.
It was certainly shiny.
What if that was all just to get a point in a laser tag? Like, they've been doing this lifelong game of laser tag. I'm going to open it. It's going to reflect off the ring onto you. Laser tag point from Dad.
It's great.
That's a great bit. Dan?
I did have a big question on what this dance was. I don't
It's
understand.
a beautiful evening for
It's
lovers.
a beautiful evening for lovers. That cleared it up none. This movie does transition from winter to spring as the movie goes,
Which is great.
over the case of a couple of weeks. You talked about a tuna salad. Can we talk about eggs briefly? The dad, he is like Rocky training for a fight, apparently. My man has scrambled no less than half a dozen eggs.
So
no
much.
one else is in his house. He has so many eggs to eat. He's never going to get through them all. I don't know if he just was trying to crack the perfect egg and kept going ham out there, or what he was doing.
You just get into a rhythm.
He's just
You know
like,
what I'm saying? You're just like,
and another,
that's a one
and
crack,
another,
and a two crack,
He like-
and a three
and
crack.
another. Oh, I'm single? Oh, dang. I gotta get these eggs.
He finally got the one hand crack down, and he was like, "Oh,
Look,
it's a beautiful evening for lovers."
Scramble. Look, a lot of Hallmark movies have some questionable ADR where there's some sound that has to be recorded later and then dubbed over. And you know what? That's okay. Even in movies, there's
Happens
some
all
bad
the
ADR.
time if you look.
There is easily, for my money and 4 years watching Hallmark, the worst piece of ADR I've ever seen in one of these movies. We were around it 3 times just to laugh. He and his ex-wife are out to eat. He picks up the check. She says, let me pay for it. And then he says, come on, Brenda, you know me well enough to know, without opening his mouth. He says all those words without opening his mouth.
It's great.
It is next level how this made it into the movie. Just go to the shot of her while he's talking. Something.
So good.
I just couldn't believe that was in there. My biggest complaint, which is is that at the end of this movie, she learns nothing.
Yep.
She doesn't learn a thing.
Alicia?
Yes. She didn't learn a thing. And then she thinks that all of her problems from being just a weirdo who doesn't love her husband is going to be solved by having a baby. You know the age-old story that when your relationship isn't great and it's on sandy footing and you don't see eye to eye, have a kid, that'll fix things. What in the world, guys? Like, that's just not, you can't just put a bow on this thing and be like, they had a baby, so clearly it worked out. I was very infuriated by the fact that we didn't actually get any, like...
Well, it's important to note that the day that they finally have their breakthrough conversation about, hey, I'm serious about us, the next scene is the same day because of the outfit, and she goes to check on her mom.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right after this whole, I'm diving in, I'm going deep.
Nothing the whole movie. And then lastly, this is just weird. First of all, we don't know what this dance is. It's a weird winter.
It is.
It's a big ballroom.
It is a big
dance
evening for
adults
lovers.
And for lovers.
Great.
He starts his declaration of love with the mic and then puts the mic down halfway through his declaration of love. And we talked earlier about how just the two of us is the time to do that bit, and they don't do it. It just is awkward when you're gaining steam with the mic, like you're really revving up. People want to hear. Now, there's
The people in the back corner are like,
what did he say?
what?
But
Wait, you started good.
you were
Pick
great.
Pick it back
I
up.
think he loves her. Is
I'm
he gonna-
invested at this point.
Yeah.
Pick it back up.
But the problem is,
It's a big evening for lovers. Pick up the mic.
there's only like 12 people there. So either you don't need the mic at all, or you got to commit to the mic.
You wouldn't get a big evening for
I
lovers.
wouldn't get it, clearly. I would.
Rick?
I sponsor 3 big evening for lovers every year.
But I refuse to ask a follow-up. Guys, it's time for what the Hallmark. Yeah, it's time for what the Hallmark is.
Drinks are free after 10 a.m.
So it's all day drinking.
No, it starts at midnight. And if you make it to 10 a.m., it's free drinks
Till,
until it closes.
which is
Never.
Fitzy's is always open.
Once you leave that bar, your free drinks are gone.
so
It's a
you
24-hour joint, yeah.
So you got once you make it to 10 a.m.
Don't ask about the cleaning.
You
My
just
butts out signs are not going well. There's ashes everywhere.
we don't need to get into this.
don't,
I
you're
told you I wouldn't ask a follow-up, and you baited me.
It's free drinks after 10 if you go to the big ball lovers.
so are there people that have just
Not
stayed
big ball
in
lovers.
Fitzy?
I want to be clear about that. It's a big evening for lovers. It's also a ball.
And it goes forever?
Yeah, and you might think that maybe not be enough room for a dance in Fitzy's, and you'd be wrong. You know why? Because they open up the back. You know what they have back there?
What?
My pants.
No. Gummit, Panda.
I should have seen it.
You should have. You know better.
That's on me.
It's time for what the Hallmark is Bar Show. We wonder what could have been, maybe having some clarity, which we still have. Panda?
Is her dance studio also at the mall? Because they walk out and
What is she?
What is she?
What is she?
Mine is what is she? That's literally my question is what is she? What does she do for a living? She owns a dance studio, but she clearly is also a
but
dancer.
it leads out into a massive what is it? It's like there's other shops around. Like it's just
I don't know, man. I don't know what you want from me.
I don't know.
I'm as baffled as anybody. I'm pretty baffled at how much money is made in this movie, judging off of the quality houses. Aside from the app developer, what did the dad do for a living?
He clearly made a good.
He
chunk
poured
of
himself. He
change.
poured himself into work too. But I don't feel like we ever
remember
get
they
it.
said her narration at the beginning is they both poured.
They
themselves
both poured himself into work
and then she became a big deal.
with the mall dance.
It's the mall dance, big beautiful. He organizes beautiful evening for lovers. That's what he does.
Welcome to the 23rd annual
Beautiful evening.
for Lovers.
It's called Bethel.
At the beginning of this movie, she gets a call from her dad late at night. And we only hear her side of the conversation, but for some reason, she's explaining what a DM is. And I don't know why, but you better believe I have questions. Whose DMs is he trying to slide into? Did someone try to slide into his DMs? What other reason could there be for him asking late at night about what a DM is?
Yeah, I don't know.
He's up to no good.
He's up to no good.
Beautiful evening for lovers. We did it?
Yeah, we did it.
Congratulations, everybody. Congratulations. It's time for the Double Decker of the Week. It's part of the show we talk about somebody who signed up for Brainwave Gem Plus. That could be you. At the Double Decker or higher tier, you get so many goodies, including an ad-free program, Facebook community, all-access lunch, all sorts of fun stuff. If this is true, the
Free
people...
apps, free bonus apps.
That's exactly right. People in the Facebook group, our episode with Tyler Hines aired yesterday. They got it almost an entire week early.
That's right.
So all sorts of good reasons to join the Deck the Hallmark Plus or All Access tier. Panda, Dan, tell us a story.
Okay, I'm going to tell you the name, and then
Great.
Panda will tell you the story.
However you guys want to do it.
That's how we've done it for years.
I like to open things up. It's
You
a
wanna do the
beautiful
Google- I am
evening
not-
for
no,
lovers.
No. This is your show, man.
Okay.
Janet Bernal.
Oh, Janet.
She was at Bramblefest. Janet Bernal.
Well, and Janet's awesome.
She is.
Top shelf, top notch, top of the line, I would even say.
Wow.
Has a couple interesting kind of quirky things. Started a podcast. She's really into racing cars.
Okay. Like NASCAR? Like full big boy gas.
Doesn't really matter what the car is, but she'll race it every
Okay.
single time.
She drives it.
No, she typically runs beside it.
She races cars.
Yeah.
So she runs and the car drives.
Yeah.
This is one of the dumber things I've ever heard.
What good is this?
How does she have a chance?
What good
Well,
is
she
this?
hasn't won yet, but she very much believes she can.
But what good is
She's
this?
what do you mean? It's
Who is this for?
Who does this?
Who is this for?
Who wants to run versus a car or what?
Oh, she has a massive Instagram following.
How many?
300,000 people.
300,000
people.
Yep.
What's the handle?
Race all day.
Race all day. Do you think they're confused as to what the point of the thing
No,
is?
I think everyone's really cheering her on.
Does she ever
So
race
it's a really supportive
Does
point.
she ever race a person?
That would be ridiculous.
Okay.
Do people pay her to race?
Yeah, she has the full sponsorship, logos, everything.
She wears like a jacket while
Yeah.
she runs
Yep,
with
absolutely.
logos everywhere.
Absolutely. We have a spot on it.
We have
We
a
do?
spot on it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Trace,
Right.
we put our logo on someone's
Not
jacket.
necessarily. So what?
We didn't.
No. What we did.
We did?
No, we did not.
We didn't.
What we did was we put. You guys know Frankie?
Yep.
Muniz, yes.
We put a patch of his face, and if you zoom in real tight into his eyeballs, it says deckthehallmark.com.
Yep.
But no one has seen it quite yet.
How do you know?
Because I made it.
How do you know no one's seen it?
Analytics.
How you can analyze, Trace, when someone goes to deckthehallmark.com after seeing the Frankie Muniz patch on Janet's jacket from Race All Day Instagram.
Yep.
Do you internet?
No, I clearly don't.
Yeah, it is on the analytics.
Analytics.
Thank you
What
for clearing
Panda
that up,
said.
Trace.
Also, and I just want to point out, it's also a podcast, and we have a sponsorship on the pod too.
That's true. Not exactly.
Can you straighten that out for me?
Let me just play the clip.
What's the clip? What is this?
This is the podcast ad.
Ad for Race All Day?
Yeah,
is it
Race.
called Race All Day? Or is that just the...
Well,
I
it's
guess
the
we'll
handle.
find
It's
out.
also the name of the podcast.
Okay. Oh, okay, good.
You want to hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here. Here it comes. Here it comes. Oh, darn it.
Adulting can be
No!
This is what serves you right when you try to play an actual clip, Trace.
Here it comes. Ah, dang it.
Oh, my gosh.
I don't have it.
You don't
But
have a clip.
basically, it's a Frankie Muniz ad. Sorry.
I am a little discouraged because we spent a lot of money on that.
Yeah, I get the feeling we're in pretty good hock right now.
Hawk and Tom? We haven't had on that show,
We do.
too.
Yeah, that's going to bring in the big bucks locally.
All right. Well, we'll be back tomorrow with another episode. Until then, may we be the first to wish you a
Merry Christmas!
Deck the Hallmark's a Bramble Jam podcast. It's presented by Philo TV. It's produced by Brandon Gray and recorded live in, Greenville, South Carolina. Set decor is by Plum at Haywood Mall. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on Bramble Jam Podcast Network, you can go to bramblejampodcast.com.